Hi guys, Q264 here, and today we are going to talk about The Mandalorian. The series dropped on Disney's new streaming service, Disney Plus, on the service's launch day, which was yesterday, I think, by the time I get this video up. This is the first ever live-action Star Wars series, and it is good. It's good. I'm surprised. A new Star Wars-related thing that is good. Haven't been able to say that in a while. I can't wait to get into this. I hope you guys are ready for the truth.
Oh, geek.
True. 64.
Geek.
Truth.
Geek.
True. 64. Oh, shit.
For those unaware, I am not a fan of what Disney has done to this once great franchise. I have been a Star Wars fan since I was 7 or 8 years old. It was the first property that I fell in love with. I love the universe and its characters, but ever since The Last Jedi, I have fallen out of love with Star Wars. Now, I still enjoy the pre-Disney stuff. That no matter how bad they screw it up, they can't take that away, but I've had little hope in anything good coming out of Star Wars. But when The Mandalorian was announced and I found out that Dave Filoni, the man who brought the amazing Clone Wars series to TV, and Jon Favreau, the man who kickstarted the Marvel Universe with the first Iron Man, when I found out these two guys were bringing this series to life, I had a glimmer of hope. And as I said before, The Mandalorian did not disappoint. Let's start by what I was really surprised by, which is that this feels like Star Wars. This universe feels like Star Wars. The dirt and grime, the old tech, the aliens, the mix of practical and CGI effects. The tone is perfect. It feels like Star Wars. The problem with most of the Disney Star Wars is that it feels like it is trying to be Star Wars, but it never actually succeeds. But The Mandalorian succeeds where most fail, in that it feels like Star Wars. What it actually feels like is kind of like a fan film, and I mean that in the best way. Because what the Star Wars fan films have are heart, passion, and understanding of the source material. Fan films such as Vader Shards of the Past and Darth Maul Apprentice tell very short stories that nail the tone of Star Wars, and feel like they could fit into the overarching universe, into the overarching story. The Mandalorian felt like that to me. It is telling a smaller story in the universe. It takes place after the fall of the Empire in Return of the Jedi, and it is a point in time we haven't seen really in the films or TV. As I said before, I'm not a fan of what Disney has done with the franchise. I personally choose to take the previous expanded universe as canon, like the Thrawn trilogy, Jedi Academy, all that good stuff. The good thing about The Mandalorian is that, at least so far, it can fit into that expanded universe. Now, Disney's tried to rename the expanded universe as Legends continuity. Either way, I hope to see nothing alluding to the Disney films and the series going forward. I hope it sticks to what we saw in episode 1, but only time will tell. I love the creature designs. There is a giant ice walrus predator that pops out of the ice like a graboid, ready to grab Kevin Bacon. And there is a half dewback looking thing. Don't remember what it's called. It looked like half a dewback to me. It just looks great. Just great use of practical effects, bringing that thing to life. It feels like Star Wars. I love the grit too. There is a scene with some just dirty, beaten down stormtroopers. They have clearly seen some better days and are hiding underground. It demonstrates how far the Empire has fallen, and the Mandalorian's design as well. It's pretty awesome. Whoever designed it should get a pay raise, because it takes the best elements of Boba Fett and Jango Fett and just mixes them in with like some Clint Eastwood. And it's just a very sleek sci-fi Western design. And I love that he keeps his helmet on throughout the entire episode. It may be easy for them to just take it off and show the character's emotion. I think a lot of directors would probably do that. But by keeping it on, it not only gives the character a mystery about him, but also gives him like an intimidation factor that is hard to pull off in one episode. Now, this episode is very short. It's just short of 40 minutes. So if this was on TV, I don't even think it fell out a full hour. So I was actually surprised by that. So in less than 40 minutes, it covered a lot of stuff and got me interested to see what's going to happen. I've always loved the bounty hunters in Star Wars. Boba Fett, Bosk, Dingar, Forlom, Zuckuss. Yes, I know all of the dumb bounty hunter names. The bounty hunters were one of the most fascinating unexplored things from the original trilogy. I was fascinated with them as a kid and still love them. I love that they put a bounty hunter droid in this episode. Now, I had hoped it was IG-88 from the amazing Shadows of the Empire novel and game. Turns out that's not the case, but it was still cool to see this droid just... Well, he wrecked some stuff. He's pretty badass, not gonna lie. I would have liked to see more of him. I'm hoping that maybe further down the line, we'll get to see actual IG-88 show up, reutilizing that droid that they showed in the first episode. That'd be pretty sweet. I think episode 1 is well-paced. It's not fast or slow. Like I said, they fit a lot of stuff in 40 minutes, and it never feels rushed. Honestly, it kind of felt like an episode from like the Clone Wars series, like an animated style series pacing, which makes a lot of sense since Dave Filoni is the director of episode 1. I honestly watched this twice in the same day, which is something I rarely do, but it was short and sweet, and it made it worth a second viewing. And like I said, that's rare. So this is the spoiler, I guess, if you have not seen it. I'm going to talk about the end. So spoiler warning, guys. I don't think so far I've really mentioned any spoilers, but this ending part I really need to talk about. So if you've not seen The Mandalorian, see it and then come back to this part. Or if you want, it doesn't really matter. I don't think it really spoils too much to talk about this. But anyway, there's Yoda baby. There is a Yoda baby. Now, Yoda's species has never been named or explored in any of the Star Wars Expanded Universe stuff, as far as I know, like from my Star Wars knowledge. So if I'm wrong, I may be wrong, I don't know. But I don't think they ever named it. I'd be interested to see what they do with the Yoda baby. But I hope they still keep much of the species a mystery, because George Lucas always wanted to keep that species mysterious. Otherwise, he would have came out with something already. And it'd be nice to keep it that way. Keep things mysterious. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with the Yoda baby. Maybe it predicts the future, and that's why they want it. I honestly have no idea what they're going to do with it. But, I mean, like I said, it's nice to see a mystery that I actually care about after one episode to see what they're going to do. All right, end of spoiler. The ending after the ending, the credits. There is some Ralph McQuarrie style concept art they showed in the credits, and I loved it. I just thought it was cool. It felt like Star Wars. I feel like I've mentioned that many times, but to get something that feels like Star Wars in 2019 is rare. The last 5 years, it's been very few things that feel like Star Wars within the Star Wars universe. Several people have mentioned this, and I have to agree. One of the drawbacks is the music. It just needs some work. It's not terrible, but there's no hint of John Williams' score here. And his music is so synonymous with the franchise, it's weird not to hear it in a Star Wars movie. Now, it's cool to do something different with the score, but what they did just could have used more of a Western style, something to fit more into the vibe of the series. It's just not memorable. As it sits, the score just feels half-hearted, and that's one of the weakest things in this episode. Overall, The Mandalorian Episode 1 was great. I hope they can continue with what they've done here in Episode 1. I'm not going to give it a grade. I need to see the whole series before I give it a grade. It's hard to grade individual episodes, but it is a recommend. But I do know better than to get my hopes up with Star Wars these days. We'll see what Episode 2 brings, and you can be sure I'll be back here with a review. It's nice to review something good for a change. You know, it really gets old just talking about how much stuff sucks all the time. I want to enjoy things. I really, really do. So I want to see what they do. It's nice to talk about something good for the change. It really, really is. So have you guys gotten Disney Plus? Have you seen The Mandalorian? Have the positive reviews for The Mandalorian got you interested in checking it out if you were a Star Wars fan and just kind of given up on it? That'd be interesting to know. Comment and let me know what you think below. Thank you, subscribers, for being awesome. Thank you for checking out this video. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm P264, and I'll always tell you the truth.